My mom taught me to sell at a spaza shop. She ran a hair salon. I pretty much learned entrepreneurship from my moms.
Ngumntu ngabantu. That on your own, you can't really do it. You need the support of those around you.
You will have a network of people, a network of communities and a society that will make sure that you count.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of SAITA Straight Talk. My name is Louise and as usual, it's an incredible honor to have a team of panelists to focus on discussions that are burning issues or challenges and or celebrations in the informal trading sector. Now, this evening is one of those evenings where we're going to talk about the bitter, but we're going to end it with the sweet. Because the one thing that we in SAITA wants to do is to unite the informal sector across individuals and different informal trader organizations into one sector, but with one voice. And we do that when we create hope with each other. This evening, I want to welcome our comrade GS, Michael Mukhoja. Very, very warm welcome to you, sir. You're going to have to unmute yourself so that we can just hear you. Welcome to this panel discussion.
Good evening, Louise. Good evening, everyone who is watching here. Good evening, our panelists. I think today is going to be a very interesting discussion, which is a nice one. Good evening.
Good evening. Then we have from Johannesburg, the organization JITP. Good evening, Glory Malachi. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Louise and the panel. I'm so happy to be here today to represent the JITP. Thank you.
Thank you. We also have Zodumo Chitwayo. Good evening. I know your signal is a bit delayed, but we can hear you. So please, will you just greet us and the viewers? Zodumo, can you hear me?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zodumo from JITP, based in Diepsloot.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, thank you. Our comrades from KwaZulu-Natal are on the WhatsApp line with me, so please excuse me when I look down. They are trying to connect, but it seems like in KwaZulu-Natal, the signal is giving them some trouble. Must admit, I'm actually surprised that my signal is so clear because a storm just hit Cape Town that is second to none. Comrade GS, I want to start off the conversation because tonight we're going to talk about the effects of looting and how desperately our informal traders need help and hope. So don't you want to just set the scene for me in terms of what happened to us a few weeks ago, how it affected the informal trading economy? So, and then we will talk to each of the individual traders from the markets. Over to you.
Thank you, Louise. This looting and unrest has affected the informal traders very strongly. Remember, firstly, that our informal traders are depending on the malls, on the business area, CBDs. That's where there is a food trafficking of the people around there, so that they must make a daily living. So now, because of the malls has been affected, and then that has been made that there is no the food trafficking of the people. It has affected the informal traders. Some of the malls are not destroyed, but due to the fact that has been looted or has been afraid during that time, it's also affected. And then you remember after that, it's because the informal traders are trading from hand to mouth. It is difficult now for them to come back to the street to try and trade. They are trying there and there, but it's very difficult, very, very, very difficult. Because if you can spend day or 2 days without trading, now you're gonna take that money, you're gonna buy food at home with that money that you were supposed to buy a stock, but we end up not having money to buy the stock. That's where the problem started. Now in KwaZulu-Natal, because most of the malls in KwaZulu-Natal has been banned, it's going to take time for them to come back to business. It's really sad. Just imagine now how they're going to survive from now until when the things are fine, when the malls are back in businesses. How are they going to survive? It's a stressful situation. And I remember most of the government help, it needs a lot of requirements at this time. Lot of requirements, so it's so disastrous to the people, stressful situation to our people that they can't trade, they don't have money, they can't eat. Because remember, if you can go to the states, you will see that the informal traders, they have created a lot of employment for themselves. But now if they are sitting at home, like in KwaZulu-Natal only, around 45,000 informal traders has been affected. 45,000 has been affected. Now they are at home. That's why now when the stats it's increased, the unemployment rate is up now. It's up. Imagine when the Stats SA released their results, we were under 34% of unemployment. Yeah. And that is before the looting. That stat is before the looting. Now, what will happen after the looting? It's going to be more, because most of our people who are informal traders, self-help, self-employed, are now at home. They don't do anything. It's so stressful situation.
Yeah. Thank you, Comrade GS. Zodumo, I was wondering, can you tell us about your market and tell us how many traders are there normally, and how did the looting affect your market? I don't think so, Dumo. Glory, I think you've heard my question there. Before you actually answer what I've just asked Zodumo, won't you tell us what does JITP stand for, so that we know, and give us an idea of how many members and which markets your organization represents?
JITP stands for Johannesburg Informal Traders Platform. And then it consists of 7 branches. And now I think it went to 9, if I'm not mistaken. But then we will just check if that's correct. And then the other thing is the traders have been affected by the looting so badly, to such an extent that as traders, we are not insured. We don't have insurances and everything. If someone steal your things or your stock or whatsoever, or you lose your stock, then it's 10 steps back instead of going forward. In everything, even if maybe you have employed 1 person or 2 people, then which means those people, they are now facing the unemployment state. So, and what about their families and everything? So the looting has affected us badly, because of even as the stock, even the things that we are using, like our tables, our gazebos, whatsoever that you are using on the street, and then are destroyed. So now you have to start again and rebuild what is destroyed in one day. And by the way, being a trader, you are not just being a trader in one day. You start somewhere and then putting your money, saving money, and then after that thing, it's been destroyed within a twinkle of an eye. Something that you built for 5 years.
Yeah. Gloria, I think you've just You've just sort of stopped there, so I think your signal is also freezing. Our comrade president makes a very, very interesting comment on the Facebook group, and if you are watching, please look at the comments. I look forward to getting your input also. If you were affected by the looting, if you have a story of hope to tell us, please put it in there. But our comrade president says, therefore, we need to ensure that as the informal sector, we need to have our voices heard by government, but not only heard, we need the budget to rebuild. Comrade GS, I see your smile, and I know you are agreeing with that, because you don't only look at your organization, you don't only look at your province, but as the General Secretary of SAITA, you have a bird's eye view of just how dire the situation is across provinces and nationally. So I think I can see you burning to say something.
Yes, what the president is saying is what we are preaching presently now, that we need budget for the informal traders. We need budget to revive our businesses. I want to tell you one thing, Louise. Without the informal traders, the big businesses are suffering. For example, informal traders are buying 90% of the stock into the fruit and veg markets are bought by the informal traders, 90% of them. So it clearly shows that they will have stock, it will rotten if the informal traders are not on the street. And then secondly, the people who are buying from the informal traders are so many people that depend. They know when I'm passing from the street now, I will pick up a cabbage there, I will pick up a potato there. But now what is happening there, they have to go and queue at the retail stores now. For the whole day, they're gonna queue so that they must have one thing or two things that were supposed to pick it up into the informal traders. So it's a serious matter that when the informal traders are not at or on their trading spaces, are not doing their businesses, it's affect the entire country, it's affected the economy of this country, because if we cannot buy, there is nothing, or the wholesalers and retailers are going to suffer too. That is why we are saying as the SAITA that let's have the budget to see how do we revive. And that if let be removed, the red tapes must be removed so that the informal trader must access the budget. They must go back to the businesses.
Yeah, Zodumo, can you hear me? Comrade Zodumo, I really want to engage with you, but it seems like there is a delay in our feed that I cannot hear you. But what I did want to say, Glory, is based on what Michael has said and from the comments that I see on Facebook. There are so many challenges. It's not just legislation. It's being able to access certain avenues. But I suppose that is where it becomes so important for more than one role player to be taking hands. And as much as we want government to make more budget available, which we all know they should be, we also cannot do this without the help of the corporate sector. The formal corporate sector actually needs to put their hands in their pockets and assist the informal sector to rebuild. Isn't it so, Glory? I don't think Glory is hearing me. Comrade Michael, do you want to just continue on that statement that I've just made?
Yes. Remember, we are trading a different types of things on the street. Meaning, and most of those things, like for example, the clothing, the textiles that you are using as informal traders are coming from the big corporates. That is where, as you are saying, and then I agree with you, that the corporates need to come together. They need to put a hand in so that we must go forward. If for example, if you are trading with something that we buy from you and we sell on the street, and then we are no longer on the street, where are you going to take those things? Because you too, you are going to suffer as the way we are suffering And that is why I was saying that the effect happened to the informal trader. It's directly affecting the retailers. It's directly affecting the corporates because we no longer have that access to go and buy the way we were buying to sell. Because most of the things, it's us, the informal trader, who sell it fast than the big stores. We are selling fast. That is why we are saying, and then we'll repeat saying that we want the corporate to come in hand with us so that we must go together hand in hand. We're going to achieve a lot.
Comrade Michael, that brings me to the next point, and that is the point about solidarity. I mean, we can talk about government needing to change legislation, making things more easily accessible. We can talk about all the different numbers of informal trader associations that exists across the country. But you would agree with me that if we don't come together as a collective with one voice, one message to corporates and government, then we become a whole lot of voices that nobody really knows who to listen to. Is that not really the power that we have in the umbrella under SAITA?
What you are saying is correct. The first thing that SAITA we are doing is that we make sure that all the informal traders are under one cover of SAITA. Remember, government cannot listen me today, tomorrow it's listening Zodu Mochito Ayo, another day is listening another person. Government want one structure that they can talk to, that they can implement the whatever the policies that they are coming, also taking part into the drafting of those policies. Now, as SAITA, we are in working together with the government. Firstly, we are working together with the Department of Small Businesses in terms of regulating the informal businesses, in terms of coming up with how can we move forward in terms of assistance. We also have the corporates that is working hand in hand with us, that we can work together to go forward. Because important thing is that we must make sure that each and every informal trader in South Africa are part of SAITA. Each and every informal trader. And then so that we can make sure that when government come up with the programs like trap programs, it's access the informal traders. The processes, it access the informal traders. But if we are not so in solidarity, we can't access those things. We will struggle forever.
Mm. And that is really why solidarity under the SAITA banner gives each one of us a voice, but a voice to bring about meaningful change. Now, if you tuned in or you've just tuned in, we're talking about the effects of the looting specifically in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, which happened a few weeks ago. We're talking about the situation where we are now in terms of rebuilding, and we're also looking at the future. And Comrade GS and I have just been speaking about the power that exists when we stand together as one. And you'll see over the screen is some details on how to contact SAITA if you want to put up your hand and say, I want my voice also to be heard, because SAITA will speak on your behalf. You can email membership@saita.org.za, or you can send a WhatsApp to 061 547 5879. I'm going to repeat that number for you, 061 547 5879. So some of the comments here, our comrade Suraya Ahmed from Keberga says, Comrade GS, you are right. The informal traders attract business for the big businesses, because without us, the streets are dead. Yes, Rashida says we need more corporates to come on board. We are reliant on each other. But that, Comrade GS, that statement that our president just made, and something that you said earlier about corporates that needs to come together. Although the looting has been dire, and although we still need so much more money to rebuild what is lost, there has been a small glimmer of hope from the corporate sector through SAITA to the informal traders. Do you want to give us just a background in terms of what the story of hope is and how it has been affecting some traders over the last week?
Yeah, Louis, there are some other corporates who are, when they are sitting down, they think that the informal traders are very important. They like to put smile into the faces of the informal traders at time of hardness. So I like to appreciate the PMI. I like to appreciate them. You know what they did to us? It's so surprisingly. When we were just thinking what we can do, scratching our head when the poverty is entering our houses, then PMI come up on board. Philip Morris International, they come on board. They just said, look here, we need to take one to another. If you pull my hand, I will pull yours too, so that we go forward. That is why I was saying that those big corporates, you are assisting them to push their businesses. They need also to come on board, just like what PMI did. PMI, do you know what they did? They just come up, said, look, SAITA, we can assist you. They've offered us ransom money so that we must assist our informal traders with food vouchers at this time. We are busy now distributing a 2,100 food voucher across the country at the value of 500 Rand each. I was so excited on Monday when some people from KZN and Gauteng sent the messages. They appreciated it. The help comes at the time when you need it. And then it just arrived right on time. The people were so excited to receive the food vouchers from SAITA. In partnership with Philip Morris International. We appreciated it. 2,100 informal traders are receiving food vouchers, and they are going to continue food voucher for the whole of this week until next week we finish all the number of the informal traders. And we are still going out requesting some assistance for other corporate that they must come on board. We have a very strong team as SAITA. We have a very, very, very strong team from economic development that is led by Comrade David Fender. That team is working tirelessly to make sure that the informal traders are surviving at this hard time. Remember, if you have to stay at home for approximately 7 to 8 months, what are you going to eat for the whole of this? That's why the informal traders were so excited when they received 500 Rand vouchers into their cell phone so that they must go to ShopRite, Checkers, or USafe to go and buy groceries at the value of 500 Rand. So it's so blessing to have a corporate like that.
Yeah, what also happens is when a corporate reaches out when times are tough, doesn't that build exceptional trust from the sector back into that corporate? Because, you're not going to change somebody's mind. If I don't have any bread tonight, Michael, and you come to me and you give me the money for that bread, I'm going to forever carry you in my heart and I'm going to trust you from here on. Isn't it so? So that is why other corporates must get involved.
Yes. There is that trust that you are building from the informal trader to the corporates. That is why we are saying we have to fight this as solidarity. We have to be in solidarity as the informal trader. Because if you are alone there, imagine if we were not having a SAITA. It was difficult even for the corporate to say, I want to assist the informal trader, because they didn't know how to get in contact with those informal traders and how they can assist them. It's just fortunate that SAITA is here so that it must assist the informal traders in another way. And then it's built that relationship, that trust towards the corporate and towards the informal trader, because they know the informal trader that now it's there is one thing, Louisa, that we always preach about it. There is illicit product in South Africa. How to fight with that illicit product? We need to make sure that we are in solidarity with all corporates so that we must move forward. But if we are not in solidarity with them, we can't fight for that illicit products. You see?
Yeah.
That's where the trust comes from.
Yeah, because the reality is that as far apart as we are, informal to formal, we cannot do this if we don't do it together. Okay? We just cannot do it. But I think what's great about this evening is that we are showing the results of when a partnership works. That is why more than 2,000 informal traders will, for a week or two, be able to feed their families while we're trying to build up the pieces.
Yes, Louise, and it's not only with this. We are also working hard to put the Department of Small Business on table to see how do we assist the informal traders. I'm happy that our comrade president is on the tax team with the Department of Small Business to see how do we achieve to assist our vulnerable people who are presently have a stress of how they can go back into business.
Glory, I see you are back. Thank you. There was a point where you were totally frozen.
Yes, my apologies. I think it's network.
Oh, I can see that. What I wanted to ask you, Glory, is to tell us from where the looting happened and where people were really in shock about all their losses. We've now just spoken about how a corporate partner came on board, and we were able to assist some of the traders with some food vouchers. Tell us, how has it been received from some of the traders that are part of your organization?
Yeah, it's been received. We received the SAITA with the 500 vouchers to buy from Checkers, ShopRite, or YouSave, and the people were so relieved to get those vouchers. They helped a lot, and then most of the cookers, they just bought the bulk stocks so that they can start again to sell some of the things that they're selling, even though it didn't cover everything. But the most important thing is that they have helped us a lot. It's better than nothing.
That's much better than nothing. What you have just said has given me goosebumps, because it just shows the resilience of an informal trader. For somebody to say, I'm going to take a voucher that I could take and buy food for my family, I'd buy stock so that I can restart my business. That for me talks about people that only deserves the best in the world. And really, again, we want to just say thank you to our corporate partners for coming on board. And if you're a corporate partner, or if you are in an organization where you can make a difference, I'm going to invite you, I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to dare you to get in touch with SAITA and talk to us about how you can assist. SAITA will give you the inroads into all the organizations within the informal trading sector. But we need your hand in our hand so that we can lead each other. We know that corporates are also having a tough time, but together we can rise. We definitely can rise. Zodumo, I really want to give you an opportunity to also participate, but I'm not sure whether you can hear me. I don't think so. I really think your signal is letting you down. Comrade JS, just in closing, won't you just draw everything together for us tonight in terms of where we were, where we are,
Yes,
and
I
where
can
we are
hear
going?
you.
Louise, firstly, let me thank PMI. PMI did a very great job for us. So thank you very much for the support that you have given to our informal trader. You know, my tears were dropping when Gloria appreciated and said it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So it's so inspiring to see that our informal traders are appreciating the small that we are giving to them. They appreciate it. So I'm just saying thank you very much for that. And secondly, I would just to encourage informal traders that anywhere where you are, please make sure that you work in solidarity. If you are from a certain town, if you don't have organization onto that town, go to our website, you'll find our numbers there. Talk to us, we'll make sure that we assist you to have the organization there. What we preach as SAITA, it's a self-representative towards the bargaining with the municipalities. We want our people to approach their own municipalities and to speak for themselves. We don't want anybody coming from somewhere to speak for our informal traders. That's we are encouraging, said as SAITA, that you must come on board to us. We will assist you how to formalize the thing. We'll also give you the training. We have a very best person, Paul Bester, who will make sure that he trained you how to approach, how to sit on table with municipalities, how to bargain for your constituencies. We are very strong on that point. We are just saying as SAITA that we are welcoming everybody to be part of SAITA, so that SAITA, you must move forward. And SAITA must make sure that your rights as informal traders are recognized by all the institutions. You must remember that in South Africa, we have a very serious challenge with the municipalities where they implement the bylaws without consulting the informal traders, because they treat the informal traders as the nuisance. So now we are approaching that cul-de-sac, saying nothing about us without us as SAITA. We're gonna preach this and we're gonna say that in solidarity, that nothing about us without us.
Thank you, Comrade GS. Glory, is there something that you want to say in terms of motivating the fellow traders as your closing remarks?
Yes, I'm going to add up on what Mike said, especially when he said to find yourself an organization. You know, you cannot run this race alone. But if you have other fellow traders, then you can help each other. And being alone, you won't get more knowledge. You cannot know everything by yourself. But if you have someone next to you, maybe they can bring something else that you don't know. We are learning each and every day. So having being together and then finding people like Said, an organization like SAITA, it really helped us and it really encourages us to push and press on towards the mark, and then eradicating the poverty that is around our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Glory. Well, those two inspirations from two very, very powerful leaders within SAITA, it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us on tonight's session of SAITA Straight Talk. Remember, every Tuesday and every Thursday evening, we do discussions live. On Tuesday coming, please do join us. We will be continuing the very, very heated topic on TREP, the Township and Rural Entrepreneurship Program, how it affects us, what are the challenges, and are there really wins? You will only know if you tuned in. Till next Tuesday, from me, Louise, and SAITA Straight Talk, good night.